In question time today, one of the Teal MPs, she had the chance to push the government on hate speech laws, whether they're actually being used to kick out extremists or ban groups, but instead, have a look at the question she asked.
2 weeks ago, this parliament passed legislation to respond to the Bondi terror attack. The crossbench was required to vote on legislation mere hours after receiving it. That process disrespected the 1 in 3 Australians who voted for a strong crossbench, and it degrades the democracy that we fought so hard to nurture. What steps will the government take to ensure that lawmaking processes following future crises will not degrade democracy in this way?
Degrading democracy. Julian, what do you make of that?
I was flabbergasted by this question, Sharri. This parliamentarian represents the second largest Jewish community in Australia. I was in her electorate when the terrorist attack occurred at a similar event to the event in Bondi. What Jewish Australians want to know, what law-abiding Australians want to know, including people in her electorate, is how many hate preachers has the government turfed as a result of these laws? When is Hizb ut-Tahrir going to be listed? When are the neo-Nazis going to be listed? And instead she asks a question about process. The Teals are completely out of touch here. They're supposed to change politics and supposed to represent their communities better than the major parties. But I can say this parliamentarian is not representing her community, and all the Teals do in my electorate is foment anti-Semitism.
Pretty strong comments there. And I just should probably say, for legal reasons, they would deny that they're contributing to anti-Semitism. Julian, Susan Lee and David Littleproud, they're locked in these talks over whether the coalition can reunite or not. Julian, from the Liberal MPs you're speaking to, do most acknowledge that you guys can't actually win government without a coalition with the Nats?
Well, Susan Lee and David Littleproud are working through the issues, and I'm very hopeful that the coalition will come back together. And they are working those issues through in a constructive manner. We have been in government with the National Party in the past, and our tradition has been to have a coalition, and that's what's being worked towards. But like you, Sharri, as you said in your earlier segment, as I've been going around the country, people are actually still processing the issues around Bondi. I had people coming up to me with tears in their eyes at my son's school. He doesn't go to a Jewish school, who wanted to talk to me about the tragedy of Bondi. And this week, in particular, Australians are focused on the rising cost of living caused by the out-of-control spending of the Albanese government with another interest rate rise. And Australians, as they're sending their children back to school, are asking, how do we pay the school fees? How do we afford to send our kids to childcare when more than double the number of childcare centres are now charging above the cap than they were when we left office? So costs are going up everywhere. These are the things people are focused on. They're not focused on what's happening in this building.
Well, exactly, and that's the disgrace about what's happening with the coalition, that they should be focused on these important issues instead of just imploding. But Julian, Lesser?
Well,
really?
Every day, Sharri, we are asking questions about these issues in the parliament every day. And we'll continue to hold the government to account.
Yeah, I know you will. Julian Lesser, thank you very much. Great to see you as always.